Radical.
Viewer discretion is advised.
You know, I think these just keep getting worse and worse year after year. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't as bad as I'm making it out to be, or maybe it was. I don't know. I'm not a professional wrestling pay-per-view reviewer. I just want to give you my thoughts on what I saw. There was 2 nights of WrestleMania. I give you my thoughts on night 1. And I'm not going to lie here, I probably only watched half of this. I probably only watched half of the matches, paid attention to half of the matches. We will go over the card. This was the card for night 1. Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and John Morrison. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Naomi and Lana versus Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke versus the Riot Squad versus Natalya and Tamina, Tag Team Turmoil. The New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos, Tag Team Championship. Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon Steel Cage match. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 matches on night 1, and I guess 7 on night 2. I don't know about that, 14 matches for a WrestleMania event. I guess they have to stretch it because it's 2 nights. But why is it on 2 nights? Can anyone explain to me why it was on 2 nights? Does this really need to be a 2-night event? WrestleMania. It's such a big deal, but it's 2 nights. I don't like that. Also, before I get into talking about the matches, one thing I did not like is each night had a song, like a WrestleMania song. And it was The Weeknd's Save Your Tears or something, the song that they keep playing on the radio over and over and over again. It's not even really a good The Weeknd song. Is it The Weeknd or just Weekend? Or The Weeknd? I know the name is spelled wrong. I'm not knocking The Weeknd. There's maybe 1 or 2 songs that aren't that bad from The Weeknd, but this was not one of them. This is the most generic sounding song ever. It's a very soft song, a very soft, generic sounding song, Now, I'm not saying that it needs to be like heavy metal or anything like that, but it's just a very soft, generic song. We'll get into that theme of just being soft and generic. It seems like year after year, they keep taking more and more balls away from wrestling. It's just a very soft song. So that just kind of stuck out to me. Like, really? That's the song? I mean, Peter Gabriel, Big Time. And I think there was one by Kevin Rudolph, years ago, right? These were like big time themes. But Save Your Tears, or what the fuck that is, Really? Okay. What's going to be next year? Is it going to be Lady Gaga? Or maybe that one woman, that sings? I mean, And there's nothing wrong with, like, female. You can have themes from females. But maybe something just with some oomph, Right? Weeknd, Save Your Tears. Sorry about that little rant on that song. I just thought I'd kind of get that out there. Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre was the first match. It was the first match. The curtain jerker, like the first match, was this. So let me get this perfectly straight. The WWE Championship. This is a big deal, right? This is the one on Raw, right? This is the big time one, the WWE Championship. Brock Lesnar, right? He had this title. I think Drew McIntyre, he was built up, and Drew beat Brock Lesnar, if I'm not mistaken, correct? I'm not an ardent fan right now. I don't watch it or a viewer, but I keep track of like the big title changes. So this person, Drew McIntyre, starting out everything. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. Supposedly a big match, but I was just like scratching my head like, what? This is the second thing that made me scratch my head. The first thing was the theme choice for WrestleMania. The second was this. But was it a good match? It was a hard-hitting good match. I have really no complaints about the match. I think they did a great job on the match. There was a couple moments where they had some WrestleMania moment. Well, not really WrestleMania moments, but really good spots. Really good spots. I think Drew even did like a flip or something like that. He did a freaking flip or a dive or something like that. And it's truly terrifying to see somebody that big and just jacked up, diving on somebody, right? A lot of people don't like the big guys doing dives and everything, but hell, if they can do it. Hell, Brock Lesnar did nearly wrecked himself years back doing what was that maneuver? I don't know. It's someone leave it in the comment section down below, or don't. I don't know. What is it? A shooting star press, or most people call it, right? So a lot of people don't like it. The purists don't like it when the big guys do moves like the flippy small guys, but I have no problem with it. Let's see here. The finish of the match. I mean, I don't have the video right now. I recorded the video. I had a recording capture set up when I was watching it, but I had to make space on a hard drive for YouTube, ironically, and everything. So the only match I really have is Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. That's the only one I have left. And mostly I kept on to that one because I want to rewatch that one because, they're kind of hot, I prefer watching the female wrestlers because they have the parts that the males don't have sometimes. That's just me nowadays, right? Now, Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre, the finish was kind of lame because MVP, who's the manager of Bobby Lashley, let me see if I remember the setup. I think it was... I can't remember the matches. This is going to be terrible because I can't remember the matches. WrestleMania, just for the most part, I can't remember a lot of the matches or the moves, but all you need to know, the finish of this match was kind of lame. Drew McIntyre was going to give his finisher to Bobby Lashley, but then what happened was MVP yelled, hey Drew, hey Drew, over here. And Drew was like, what? Someone yelling? I need to look at. This is so stupid. Do it a little more, at least let him get on the turnbuckle, right? At least let him get on the turnbuckle and taunt Drew a little bit. But no, he was outside, Drew, come over here. And then at the end of it, Bobby Lashley got on his full Nelson, which I'm not sure what he calls it. The Destroyer, the Terminator, I don't know. Maybe a very masculine sounding name, I'm sure. I don't know. I don't keep up with this shit. But he put his maneuver on Drew McIntyre, the full Nelson, which got him to pass out. He did not tap. He just passed out. And that was your opener. You have a heel winning. Usually, historically, the baby faces win. And I thought, well, maybe that's the reason they have this going on first. Right? They don't want to finish a night with a heel going over. So, okay. Now, the ordering of these matches is messed up from what is here on this website I'm looking at. I just pulled up night one card. So, my apologies here. This is not the order that it goes into. But Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, this was actually the last match. And Bianca Belair beat Sasha Banks. I did not watch this match. I did not care to watch this match. The two wrestlers really don't appeal to me that much, I know a lot of people like Sasha Banks. I mean, there's nothing wrong. It's just with the females, I don't know, with some of the guys, just with a lot of these people, I just don't follow a lot of these people. So I wasn't really hyped up for that match. And I think just a mere fact that that didn't go on last, I'm I don't know. I don't know who Bianca Belair is, but she's the women's champion now. She's a women's champion. I do remember she was interviewed on ESPN, which is hilarious. Look it up. ESPN did an interview with Bianca Belair, and it's totally in character. Totally in character, like it's not fake and everything, which is weird, right? They're in character, and they're congratulating her on her win. ESPN, a sports network, congratulating her on her WrestleMania win. Okay, yeah. I'll save that one to the last. Skip over that one. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. This was my match of the night. Of the 7 here, this is the one that I enjoyed the most. the most. And it was close. There was another match that was close, okay? But this was great. I tell you what, because I really like Cesaro. I think for years he didn't get a fair shake. I mean, the guy has a great body, very in shape. He has great, amazing strength. I saw Cesaro once lift up freaking the great Khali. Yeah, the great Khali. Lifted him up, gave him his finisher. That alone, I would say, when you got a guy, and the knock on him was a lack of personality. Vince didn't like his lack of personality. But, dude, when you got a guy that can wrestle as good as he does and can pick up the great freaking Khali and give a finisher, I'm like, it's a no-brainer. How can't you push this guy? Well, maybe he's in the middle of a push because he beat Seth freaking Rollins. And there were some amazing spots during this match. There was one maneuver, and I need some help from CAWF Wrestling. I need help from that channel because I don't know a lot of the maneuvers and everything. Or maybe I used to. But if you saw WrestleMania CAWF, you know what I'm talking about. There was a great freaking maneuver, and I can't remember what it was for the life of me. I should have done this maybe a couple days ago. But it was impressive. Let me tell you, that was impressive. Cesaro had a lot of great uppercuts, and those things look like, I know it's all fake and everything, and it really doesn't hurt most of the time and everything. But it looks like it freaking hurts. All those uppercuts just kept uppercutting the hell out of this guy. And towards the end, let's see if I can remember the spot. There was a part where it was either his leg or his arm on Cesaro that was hurt. And you're thinking, okay, this is the easy out, right? Seth Rollins is going to win because Cesaro was injured. He's hurt. I loved what they did here because Cesaro went over. So not only did he beat Seth Rollins, he can claim that he beat Seth Rollins injured. And Seth, of course, has a new gimmick. I don't understand exactly what his new gimmick is, but it's weird, though. Seth being kind of depushed is kind of weird to me. But you know what? Credit goes to both men. This was a great match indeed. Naomi and Lana versus Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke and a lot of other females in a tag team turmoil. I didn't pay much of attention to this at all. It was kind of on, and I walked away, and I was like, I'm not watching this. So, yeah. Two more to talk about. Two more matches here. No, three. I got three more to talk about here. Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon steel cage match. Shane O'Mac, here come the money. Here come the money. There went the money, because Shane McMahon got thrown off the freaking cage. Not like Mankind. He got thrown off the cage, towards the end of the match. So I'm spoiling it right away. Braun Strowman won, but you kind of know that Braun Strowman's going to win. There's no way at WrestleMania they're going to put Shane McMahon over Braun freaking Strowman. Okay, they're not. Not unless he's in a doghouse or something's going on like that. Fluke finishes, maybe for other pay-per-views, but not for WrestleMania. It started out, and the thing is, it's Shane McMahon. He's not a small person, but, they have to make it kind of somewhat believable. So they had, was that one guy, Elias? Plays the guitar and everything like that. So him and another guy attacked him in the leg with a chair. So they had an angle to where Braun Strowman, he can't walk around that good. He can't walk around that good, which is a great thing to do to start up that match because you have Shane McMahon, doing his punches and everything like that he does, and his offense. And Braun slowly kind of came back. I remember the coast to coast. He's still doing the coast to coast. Bless his heart, he's got to be in his 50s right now. Shane McMahon's probably in his 50s, right? Doing the coast to coast. That guy, I just, when it comes to durability in wrestlers, and I know we don't wrestle a lot, but you got to give Shane McMahon his credit. You really do. So I just love watching Shane McMahon in any matches nowadays because I just, respect what he brings to the table. And he's going to freaking just do some crazy, crazy stuff. There was a spot in this match to where I think the cage was kind of ripped off. The end was Shane McMahon. It was a cage match, by the way. He was getting out of the cage. He was going to drop to the bottom. And Braun Strowman, he gave him these hands, and he grabbed him through the cage. I think his hand he grabbed. And then he had to come back up because he didn't want to lose his freaking hand, you know. The choice was, be really injured. He's not going to drop because Braun's got his hand. So he takes him up to the top, and Braun just straight, throws him into the ring, gets into the ring, and then gives him his finisher, the running power slam. And then Braun wins. Really good match, really good match. Two more to talk about. And one of these is weird. I didn't actually watch one of these. Well, a little bit of it. But I saw all of the New Day versus AJ Styles and Osmos, whatever his name is. I don't know. Who comes up with these names? I think I could come up with a better name than Omos. Watch out for Omos. Omos is over 7 foot tall. Kind of dwarfs AJ Styles, right? Dwarfs everybody in that ring. And whenever you have somebody that's really big like that, I don't know. I get that they sometimes want to make someone seem giant and huge and strong, but at the expense of who, right? And I know he wasn't taking on AJ Styles. This match started off with AJ Styles versus the New Day. And 95% of the whole match was just AJ Styles getting his butt whooped. That's all it was, right? And I think to myself, wasn't it like 2 WrestleManias ago that it was AJ Styles versus, I think, Randy Orton in a pretty big match, right? Stock dropping. Seth Rollins, stock dropping a little bit. AJ Styles, stock dropping a little bit. At the expense of who? I mean, AJ Styles, to get who over? Omos. A very green-looking wrestler, if you can call him that. And I don't like it when they do that just to get over people like a Great Khali or an Omos who just really can't wrestle, that are just green. And there were spots in the match to where AJ was trying to reach out his hand and get a tag to Omos, and Omos just wasn't even trying to really tag. It was almost like I thought they were going to do a turn to where Omos gets in the ring and then attacks AJ Styles. That's what I thought. Not that they need to get these people in line and get them trained up, because it's just WrestleMania. I don't know. So yeah, Omos gets in the ring, destroys, tosses around the New Day, makes everyone in the match seem unimportant, So everyone gets sacrificed for this, big guy, Omos. I did not like that. I would have just rather wanted an AJ Styles match, a great AJ Styles match on WrestleMania versus anyone, like a one-on-one. It seemed like a one-on-two, actually, right? It just not WrestleMania worthy. Just seemed like an angle match. I don't know. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and John Morrison. I think it started out with Miz and Morrison coming into the ring, and then there was a lot of bunnies, I believe. I don't remember a lot about that. I didn't watch a lot of this match. I'll tell you what happened, right? What happened was there was this rapper named Bad Bunny. I'm not aware of Bad Bunny. I keep track of a lot of current music, and I've never heard of Bad Bunny. You got your Travis Scott, you got your Drake, you got a lot of your rappers nowadays. I don't like a lot of the rappers. I don't like a lot of the mumble rappers. And I don't know if Bad Bunny is a mumble rapper. The thing is, he's apparently a very big deal. I didn't know he was a big deal. I just heard Bad Bunny, and I kind of laughed. I'm like, who is Bad Bunny? Is this some kind of a joke? He has these things, his hair. I don't know what it looks like. It's not even like horns. And I guess it's part of his thing where he calls himself Bad Bunny, and he has his hair like bunny ears. So I'm supposed to be, anyone is supposed to be afraid of the big bad bunny. He's not big. He's a bad bunny. He's not big though. He's small. Not tiny, not a midget, But he's very just... He has no muscle whatsoever. So there was this picture, this thumbnail. I don't know what a thumb shot is. A thumbnail to where he's doing a wrestling maneuver on The Miz. And it looks hilarious. It looks like a child trying to hold on to The Miz. It's not believable. It's stupid. But he's famous. So WWE, they will just do whatever they can to get famous people in the ring. It's pretty pathetic when you think about it. You know? L had got them a lot of coverage on TMZ, so I guess it was successful. But he's got the hair, looks like, you know, 2 dog turds he has there on his head. And I'm trying to find out about Bad Bunny and who he is, and I found out that there was an instance to where he went into a salon to get his nails done, to get his nails did, and they refused him because he's a male. So, yeah. This guy and Damian Priest, who actually won, somehow they won the match. A guy that wants to get his nails done. Now, this leads back to what I was talking about earlier in this upload. How everything just keeps getting softer. Very softer with WWE. Everything's so soft. You know, could you imagine this shit? If you remember WWE from like just 10 years ago, how it was, CM Punk and the pipe bomb and all that good stuff. I mean, like, it's not anything that I would want to follow regularly. It's not. It is not. And I know this is maybe a one-off. I don't know if Bad Bunny will be back. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Like, I just thought to myself, WrestleMania, like, this is WrestleMania. You know? At least they didn't, like, sacrifice anyone other than The Miz, because who gives a damn about The Miz? There was a part... Oh, the beginning of it was... I guess you could say it's a pretty good intro, because you had Bad Bunny coming in on a truck. Like, he's on a truck. Like, is that the big gimmick? You know? Could you imagine him in a video game? Oh, they're going to put Bad Bunny in a video game? I don't know. So he's in there in a truck. I don't get it. I don't understand it. There was one part, and this is after WrestleMania, where you see Triple H. This might have been on night 2, so I can't really talk about that. Well, I'll just bring this up. You have Triple H coming out, and it's a bit where he's talking to Bad Bunny. He's like, "You did great, but it's time for you to get back to what you do." You know, the music and everything like that. And then he gave him a briefcase with like a mic or something like that, like a special mic. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. This doesn't seem like a wrestling show. And I know it's not been like wrestling for a while. It just seems like they have no clue and no idea about how to actually put on a good wrestling show. And there was a funny thing. Michael Cole is just really bad, by the way. Really terrible, by the way. And during the Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre match, he called it a pound and ground. And I thought, did I just hear that right? Again, it's WrestleMania. And Michael Cole screwed up, called the maneuver a pound and ground. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with WWE right now. Like, this is WrestleMania. Again, this is supposed to be, and I had plans for actually maybe uploading more wrestling content and thoughts for you guys. But if this is the best they have to offer, if this is WrestleMania nowadays, I could even look past maybe them not having any stars. This was their opportunity to sell it to me to get back into watching wrestling, or WWE. And I would say, for the most part, they did fail. And, wait. The other match was on night 2. Did I cover everything? I think I did. So, I will have a follow-up, not sure when, on night 2. But, what did you all think about the first night of WrestleMania? Leave it in the comment section down below.